To round out our review of basic percent concepts, we're going to add another formula for percent increase and decrease. To calculate the percent increase or decrease, this is two formulas in one, we're going to calculate the amount of increase or decrease, divide by the original amount, and then multiply 100 to convert it to a percent. For example, if your wages increase from $10 to $12.50 per hour, what is the percent increase? Well, the percent increase in this case is going to be the amount of increase divided by the original amount times 100. So the amount of increase is the difference in these two values, which is clearly $2.50. The original amount is $10. Now notice you have two values to choose from. It's really important to remember that in the denominator we put the original amount. Again, you've got two values here. Which one am I going to put in the denominator? The original value. In this case, $10. Now, we have $2.50 divided by 10, and then we're going to multiply by 100 to convert it back to a percent. Remember, when we're dividing by 10, that simply means I can move the decimal one place to the left. So we get 0.25 times 100. Multiplying by 100, we can move the decimal two places back to the right, and we end up with 25%. So it looks like you got a 25% increase in wages. I'd say that's pretty good. Let's try another simple example. If a computer regularly sells for $800 and is advertised for $695, what is the percent decrease? Now remember, the first time around we were looking at increase. Now we're looking at decrease, but we use essentially the same formula. So this time we're going to calculate the percent decrease as the amount of decrease divided by the original amount times 100. Now, to be clear, the amount of decrease is the difference in these two numbers. So I'll write out the details. 800 minus 695, that's going to give us the amount of the decrease. Now remember, in the bottom, we're going to place the original amount. The computer was originally $800, and then we're going to multiply by 100 to convert it back to a percent. Observe how this is a little bit different than the previous problem. On the previous problem, we had the smallest number in the denominator, and on this problem, we have the biggest number in the denominator. When do I tell what number to put in the denominator? It's simple. Remember, in the bottom, you're putting the original amount. In the case of your wages, since they were growing from a smaller to a larger, the original happened to be the smaller number. In the case of the discount price, the original happened to be the larger number. So just remember, original goes in the bottom. So let's evaluate this with our calculator. So first of all, we're going to find the difference. 800 minus 695. That gives us a amount of decrease of $105. We're going to divide that by 800 and then multiply by 100 to convert it back to a percent. So 105, I can simply type the divided by on my calculator, and it remembers my previous answer. So 105 divided by 800 is 0.13125. 0.13125. Then that's the decimal form of the percent, right? We're going to multiply it by 100 to get it in the form of a percent. 13.125% is the discount percent. The problem did not tell me to round the answer. If it doesn't tell me to round the answer, I'm going to keep all of the decimals. The instructions in the problem will tell you specifically if you need to round or not. Now, we can go back to where we first wrote down this formula, and I want to point out to you that you can type that into your calculator all in one step, but you have to add one important thing. Notice in the numerator we have 800 minus 695. I want to make sure that that is evaluated before the division. So when I type this into the calculator, I'm going to need to add a set of parentheses around that operation in the numerator. And you can find those above the 8 and the 9. So I'm going to group this difference, 800 minus 695, together in parentheses. Then I'm going to divide by 800 and multiply the result by 100. Then all in one step, we get our value 13.125. The rule of thumb for the calculator is that if you have an operation in either the numerator or denominator, make sure you put parentheses around that operation when you type it into your calculator. If you remember that, you'll be able to evaluate it all in one step. So these are all very basic concepts, and many of our formulas will build on these simpler formulas throughout the rest of the chapter.